Hello, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter, your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast. It's great to be with you today as we continue our series as we're marching towards the beginning of training camp. It's close. You can almost smell the chlorophyll from the freshly cut grass rising up like incense and the beginning of football season. Man, it's an exciting time of the year. I hope you all are getting to enjoy family here in the dog days of summer as we prepare for that. And we're in the process of going through a 10-part series on 10 issues facing the Las Vegas Raiders. 10 issues facing the Las Vegas Raiders and as we approach training camp. And today we're going over number 3. And this is a big one. Now, we've talked about in previous podcasts about the desire of the Raiders to be a ball control offense, where they're able to run the football, eat the clock, and what that looks like. But sometimes when you talk about that, people get the misconception that you're talking about, just only running the football. You cannot be one-dimensional in today's modern National Football League. It does not work. And so the passing game, even though you want to be ball control, is still an enormous part of your offensive game plan. And so as we talk about issue number 3 today, we're going to begin to discuss the downfield passing attack, and that comes with pass catchers. It comes with pass catchers. We know that the Raiders have the best tight end in the National Football League in Brock Bowers. He is a unicorn. I mean, you can count on one hand generational players that come in and as a rookie instantly skyrocket to the top of the league. Brock Bowers did that. To me, what makes Brock Bowers even more of a unicorn is he is a tremendous human being. Take football out of it. He is a great kid. He is a consummate teammate, everything you want in a teammate. There is literally nothing about Brock Bowers not to like. He's a tremendous young man. He's a man of integrity and character. He's a hard worker, great teammate, no ego, and an amazing football player. So you literally, when you talk about the downfield passing attack, you can't have a conversation without talking about Brock Bowers. That's not an issue. So as we go through these 10 issues with the Raiders, that isn't an issue. Let's make that fundamentally clear. There's no issue with Brock Bowers. Then you're very blessed as a franchise to have another guy who's no issue, another guy that did not drop a single pass last year, another young man, tremendous character, another young man, great person, great teammate, hard worker, a great wide receiver, and of course you already know who I'm talking about, the terrific Jakobi Meyers. If you're a franchise in the National Football League and you've got two anchors, two tremendous players, and a Jakobi and a Brock, blessed is not even a good enough word. And I think that's a great word to what you have. So as we're talking about these issues facing the Raiders, and today we're talking about downfield passing attack, I want to make this abundantly clear. There is no issue with Brock and Jakobi. Bam, bam. Bookends, locked. But now you get into what are the issues. Okay? So let's talk about Michael Mayer. In the 2023 draft, many people believed, myself included, that Michael Mayer was the best tight end in the National Football League. There were several teams that targeted him, had first-round grades on him. The Raiders were able to steal him. Great move by the Raiders. Okay? Year one, had some injury issues. Okay? That happens. Not the end of the world unless he demonstrates a penchant for injury, and he is not. Last year, there were some personal issues that kept him out. Now, there was a report earlier this year, which I've already discussed early in the offseason, about a potential trade. It was a legitimate report because he is a very respected player around the league. And I said at the time, this is a legitimate report. However, some took the report as misconstruing the Raiders were trying to trade Michael Mayer. I said at the time, the Raiders are not looking to trade him. That's not what they're looking for. And I mean, if somebody blew the doors off the barn, sure. But I think everybody's for trade if you're a smart franchise. So the report was accurate. People were interested. I said it to I know of a few teams that would love to add him. But I said the Raiders aren't looking to trade him. And have maintained that. Talked about it multiple times. You already know that. Then a report comes out a few weeks ago about other teams interested. And I said then, totally true. They are. The Raiders are not looking to trade him. Michael Mayer, and I want to make this clear because I'm not going to get into, people will say, I heard this, why Michael Mayer? All I'm going to tell you is this, okay? Michael Mayer is a great kid. Terrific kid. Good kid. There isn't issues. Nobody is sitting here. So whatever rumor you hear at the water cooler or from your grandma's uncle's nephew's brother's niece, ignore it. Very good kid. And he's an exceptionally talented football player. Now he's in year 3. This is a money year, so he's got to put it all together now. But when you get guys of this talent level, when you already have a Brock Bowers, okay, you're willing to trade if you're willing to blow the doors off the barn. But you're trying to get good people, and this is a young guy in year 3. But this is the year Michael Mayer has to take the step as a downfield passing attack. Now, I'm going to make this abundantly clear. You now have Michael Mayer, Jacoby Myers, and Brock Bowers and Chip Kelly. Raider Nation, when you go to bed at night in your silver and black underoos pajamas, forget dreams of lollipops in your head. You should have dreams of that 3-part connection with Chip Kelly going through your mind. That should excite you. Excuse me. That should fire you up. But Michael Mayer now has to take the step. And he knows that. One of the things I love about Michael Mayer is the same thing I love about Jacoby and Brock. He's so smart. And again, extremely humble. My mother, who's 88 years old, said to me one time, she goes, wow, is he handsome? And I'm like, oh, geez, Mom. And it's funny because she's like, is he as nice as he is handsome? I said, well, I don't know that he's handsome, Mom. But I said, he is super nice. And he's just that kid. He's just that kid. And Raider Nation is fortunate to have him. But now it's on Michael. Now Michael has to take the next step. And he's smart enough to know that. And I think that he will. All indications. I was literally over the 4th of July. As you guys know, I usually take a trip. But due to some family emergency issues, we were unable to take a trip. But I was talking to a member of the organization. And I just said, I said, I think Michael's going to have a big year. And they're like, he's going to have a great year. I mean, his teammates are excited for him. His teammates, this organization believes in him. And I'm going to tell you something. I've shared this with you before. The players are the true indicators of what's going on in a team. Players, regardless of what they say at a podium, will tell you whether a player's working hard or not working hard. The players will tell you whether there is a concern with a guy in the locker room or not. Sometimes off the record, sometimes by their actions. There's nobody in this organization that has even remotely given up on Michael Mayer. They believe in him, they like him, they respect him. That's everything you need to know about Michael Mayer. Trey Tucker. This is another guy. When you talk about a downfield attack, this is another guy that when you look at him and you watch him play, the first year, he was his own worst enemy with drop passes. No other way to get around it. It's just the reality. But he was also a rookie. Last year, I can't even tell you the number of times he was open and then he had to wait for the ball to get there. I think Trey Tucker, now, in fairness, he's not a big human being. He's just not. And so, in fairness, he's lightning quick. He's not big. But this isn't the year because Geno Smith, you're not going to sit here at the end of the year and say, gee, how many passes did Trey Tucker not get because he had to wait for Geno Smith to get him the football? Geno Smith is going to put that ball on a line. Geno Smith is going to throw him open. I expect Trey Tucker to take a big step, but tap the brakes. Because when you're talking about a downfield passing attack, there's going to be significantly more in the mix this year. Now you bring in two phenomenal rookies. And let's talk about them. Jack Bech. Jack Bech dropped one pass last year. Jack Bech was the best downfield blocker wide receiver, which is, and I'm going to tell you something, if you can't play every play, and that includes a running play where your job is to block, you ain't playing for Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly is demanding. Now, I'm going to tell you something funny. I was talking to somebody from the Ohio State when Chip got the job here. Somebody I know really well, was very much part of the Ohio State program. I said, what was your impressions of Chip? And he said, he's got a lot of that Belichick demanding in him. And I said, what do you mean? Because he's never come off to me as a servant. And Bill does. And I think there have been times when he's come off a little bit egotistical, but in total fairness to Chip, I've not seen that one time since he's been with the Raiders. And this person said they didn't see that at Ohio State either. I said, so what do you mean to me? He goes, every player, every play. So if it's a quick out, he doesn't want those offensive linemen just like, no big deal. The ball's going to get out of his hands quick. He goes, if it's a straight up the middle running play, those wide receivers better be looking for somebody to block. He just said he demands you play every play. Okay? So it's a big deal because I've had people say to me, why is it a big deal? Why do you talk about Jack Bech as the best downfield blocker, Hondo? He's a pass catcher. Because if you're going to be a ball control offense that runs a football, your wide receivers have to block. That's the difference between a 4 or 5 yard gain and a wide receiver coming across the middle and laying a smackdown on a backer or a safety moving up into the box. It's a big deal. Jack Bech is a great wide receiver, only dropped one pass, who has a unique ability to create separation, who is going to smack your face off He's tough as nails now. Jack Bech may not be as big as an offensive lineman. He may not have the size of a Robert Spillane. He may not look like Landon Roberts when they're standing next to each other in a pair of shorts. He's not the same as Max Crosby physically. But he is out to punish you. He is a punisher. He's tough as nails. I do not have enough accolades for them being to add this kid. And like Mayer, they stole him. First round grade. Stole him. If you're a Raider today and you're sitting there in your silver and black underoos pajamas going to bed not dreaming of lollipops, but dreaming about all the talent you had, another thing you're saying is thank you God for all the bad drafting teams. And oh, by the way, Raiders used to be one. Thank you God, we're not bad drafters anymore. And thank you because of all the bad drafters, we got Jack Bech. Dante Thornton. Another kid. And he's going to give Trey Tucker a run for his money because this guy is lightning quick. Lightning quick. I mean a flat 4.3. And when I say flat 4.3, I mean he's so fast that Lightning is asking him for tips. I mean, I got to tell you, during minicamp, he did this route, kind of a flag route. And I watched the play develop, and I looked at the quarterback. I was looking at quarterback footwork. And bam, he threw the ball. And as soon as the ball left his hand, I thought, just because of the loft, the projection, all of it, I instantly thought, that's not going to be caught. And then I looked down the field, and there's Thornton. And he caught it. And I was like, oh, boy. Oh, boy. He has the potential to create a lot of nightmares. Can you imagine Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Jacoby Myers, bam, Dante Thornton, who is humongous and fast. He's a unicorn. Now, for some reason, he did not demonstrate all of those abilities at Tennessee. Now, talking to people around college football, there are some that felt like he wasn't properly utilized at Tennessee. I can't comment on that. I don't cover the team. But people who I respect, who are in the profession, not journalism, but in the football world, who work for teams that competed against Tennessee, when I said to them, hey, what's your thoughts on this kid when you guys scouted him, you guys had to evaluate? They all didn't use the same exact words, but they all used the same verbiage that they thought he was a threat that was underutilized. So I'm going to give Dante some credit, but I'm also going to say we weren't there. Maybe there was a reason the coaches didn't give him that. I have no idea what, but I'm because I wasn't there, I don't think it's fair for me to point a finger at anybody. It's just to tell you what I know and this say, I have tremendous respect for Heupel in Tennessee. So who knows? We don't know the dynamics. And we don't need to know. All we care about is today moving forward. But this kid has the potential to be very special. And so as you're looking at conundrums or issues facing this team going into training camp, it's the downfield passing attack. You got to get your rookies, and rookies are rookies. I say this to you all the time. Don't judge rookies by Brock Bowers. He is a freak of nature unicorn. He's a unicorn, freak of nature. So just take that out of your head and just assume every rookie is going to play like a rookie. They're going to do something great and make a stupid mistake. Jackson Powers Johnson, who you all know, if you take football away from it, just pretend Jackson Powers Johnson is the Home Depot lumber manager. Every single one of you would want Jackson Powers to marry your daughter. He is as good of a football player he is a stand-up human being. Just a tremendous kid. I've said it and I stand by it. I believe by the end of the 26th season, he will be one of the top 3 centers in the National Football League. And very well may be one of the best human beings in the league. He's just a great kid. There is nothing about Jackson Powers Johnson I don't like. Period. Great human being who happens to be a very good football player. And as high as I am on Jackson, and I've been since he got here, there were times in his rookie year you're like, he's a rookie. And so you can't judge people by Brock Bowers. That's just not fair. Brock sets the standard so high, and Brock Bowers last year probably is on a Mount Rushmore type list for rookie campaigns. He's not normal. He's a cyborg. So these rooks are going to make rook mistakes. That's why I'm telling people, don't rule out Trey Tucker. He's made those mistakes now. He's a vet. There are just things you know as a vet. There are things you understand as a veteran. I remember one time Draymond Green and I were talking, who plays for the Golden State Warriors. And by the way, I love Day. Great kid. Known him since he was in school. Before college. Great guy. Don't ever come to me with any bad comments about Draymond Green. Great person. Loves his family. He's just super passionate. He loves the game. He loves to play defense. And he has no respect for people that don't play the game with all of their heart. There have been some things he's done in the NBA that I'm not a fan of. And I love him as a human. And I would stand by and defend him as a human being to anyone. And I know him personally. Great guy. Again, doesn't mean everything he's done, but you know what? I hope there would be some people that would say Hondo Carpenter's a great guy, but I don't like everything he's done. Having said that, Draymond Green, I remember talking to him about what he had learned over the processes of his career. And he said to me, I've learned how to practice. I've learned how to play. There is a maturation process that Trey Tucker's gone through that Dante Thornton hasn't. So how quick him and Jack acclimate is going to talk to you about the downfield attack. That's the big issue here. So issue number 3 is there's a lot of people outside of Jacoby and Brock. There is a lot of people who are going to have to acclimate. And so it becomes a sincere question. Here is where the Raiders have a major advantage. You've got 2 bookends, Jacoby and Brock. But it's not like they're void of talent. There are some places on this roster that are very void of talent. The Raiders need upgrades and they need depth. There is a lot of downfield pass catching talent on this team. But outside of the bookends, it is a legitimate question. Who steps up? See, as great as Dante and Jack have demonstrated, they've not taken a snap in the National Football League. Let's not pretend we are anticipatory of that. A fan would say they are hopeful of that, but until they do it, they got to do it. Michael Mayer, we've seen flashes, but now he has to demonstrate consistency. You got a little bit. I mean, with Besh and Thornton, you hope. And Mayer and Tucker, you have a little bit of faith because they've shown it. But with Mayer and with Thornton, it's got to go to consistency now. Besh, with Mayer and Tucker. But with Besh and Thornton, now it's all right, show us you belong. Show us you belong here, Rook. Go do you. Go do you. And lastly, don't forget Ian and Kadir. Kadir Ismail, I'm going to tell you something. He didn't play like Brock or Mayer. Not saying he did. But he just kept showing up in minicamp and OTAs. He just kept showing up. He just kept doing stuff that... Who's that? He just kept... All right, I see you. And when you're a Kadir and you're not a high draft pick and you're a guy trying to make it in this league, you just got to put stuff on film. You got to get coaches to be like... There was an old show when I was a kid called Different Strokes. And when you're a young guy trying to get noticed, you got to do something where a coach goes, whoop. Let me watch that again. What you talking about, Willis? Yeah. Folks, I'm just telling you, they're just... Kadir's got a little bit of it. And I don't know if he's going to end up on the practice squad. That's where I project him to be. But he's got a chance to make this 53. It's a chance. I'm not predicting it. I think he's going to go on the practice. But he's got a little bit of it. Just where he's like, all right, I'm here. He's a hardworking kid now. That kid's out there. He's working. But if you've ever ever seen a Great Dane puppy or a horse when they're born, they got to learn and they're kind of a little, and they're just learning to play. And he'll do some stuff and you're like, yeah, he's learning. But man, he doesn't pout. He just gets right back in there and I'm going to come in. And I like that Kadir Ismail's grit. He's got some grit. He's just got a little bit of he just, and he's got to demonstrate he belongs. But he's got some of that Raider grit. I like it. I do. I just like it. And here's the thing about Kadir that I love. All the time he's playing, he's talking and he's smiling. He loves the game of football. That kid doesn't just play it. It isn't like a guy, okay, I'm hoping to make the team so I can make NFL money. I mean, he's out there. I could totally picture Kadir, and I've never even spoken to him. But when you watch him and you see his facial expressions and you watch how he plays, this is a guy, if it's like that movie where Mark Wahlberg played the guy that sat in a bar until the NFL went on strike, the guy from the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think his name was Ron, what the real guy. But that if Kadir Ismail was not playing in the NFL, he'd be in the UFL, he'd be in the CFL, or he'd be playing in some bar league. He just loves the game. That's fun. You can't beat that. That's just fun. You like people that love the game. All right, everybody. Follow me on IG and threads at Hondo SR, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Hondo Carpenter. And as always, SI.com/NFL/Raiders for your very best Raider coverage. Massive amounts of content, and it's all 100% free. And you'll be getting daily training camp updates. What are we seeing in camp? Observations in camps, videos, podcasts, interviews, all of it. Keep it tuned right here to your best Raider coverage, SI.com/NFL/Raiders. We'll see you tomorrow with issue number 4.